juice, but I got 55%. And then the phone company's calling me. So if they turn me up.
Hold on, sorry.
Hey, Virginia.
Hi, Leon. We're doing Ask the Artist, and Paul's here.
Oh.
Oh, here comes Annie. So Leanne, this is the way it goes. If you want to listen to the artist of the day, what I do is put you on mute, and then at the last 10 minutes, I'll unmute you, okay?
Okay.
And then you can ask questions or whatever.
Okay.
I can mute you. It doesn't matter, but maybe when it's time, you can ask your staff to unmute you if you don't know how. Okay?
And if they have a question, they can raise their hand. I mean, I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I don't have a 50-minute presentation ready to go here, but
No, it's pretty relaxed, really.
Yeah.
Okay. So Paul is our artist of the day. Woo! Hi, Paul.
That was hilarious. Your door opened and the cat walked in. Look around.
I was trying to make him go away, but that doesn't happen.
Well, he wants to ask me some questions.
He was just saying the same thing. Yes, he told me to make sure that he asks if you're going to make any more cameras.
Yeah. I haven't made any ceramics since in probably a year.
Right.
Just because, you know, I don't really have easy access to a kiln and all that.
You should talk to Paul, to John, because he's got a kiln.
I could do that, but I just didn't think about that. So
you've been busy, you know, life goes on.
Well,
so
Paul, I like making the art, you know, so.
Well, you can always, can't you store ceramics? I mean, like after you make them, before you fire?
Yeah. You did, well, I made some stuff and I gave it to the famous Gary Dinnan. You know who Gary Dinnan is?
I don't know his name.
Anyways, and so he fired the stuff and then I just have yet to go pick it up. So he probably just set it aside somewhere and so he's storing it for me. And
oh, nice.
I should call him and pick it up or glaze it or do something, but you know, he's got about 7 or 8 things. I don't even really remember what they were.
Well, that'll be a nice kind of Christmas present for you. I mean, you know, early Christmas present. Okay, so first of all, I want to ask you one question first. What inspired you to do the art that you do now? Did you always do this type of art?
What type of art you mean?
Well, like your cameras and your your windows, your ceramics, first of all, or was your first starting of your art, what inspired you? That's just,
well, ceramics. I'd actually never done any ceramics in my whole life, really, until I started working at the Southside Art Center, and they had, and Blue Water was the ceramics guy there actually, and they had a kiln and a huge room. And I think I started like my first week or 10 days was taking over Blue's position because he went to India or something like that. And I just thought, this stuff's amazing. I didn't know anything, you know, but just helped everybody make stuff and, you know, put it, and just learn as you go along. And it was just, it literally haunted me, the ceramics, because just to think they're permanents, you know, there's going to be around forever and ever and ever, you know.
How long ago was that?
Sorry?
How long ago was that?
2000, I started there in 2001. I worked one day there in 2001 and then they, and because I was a sub, and then they brought me back a month later in January of 2002 and was a sub, and then they just kept me for 10 years really. So
as a sub? No,
I got a permanent position after about 6 months there. Somebody quit.
Right. Wow. So
that was really a really neat to land a job in a field that you like, you know, and because prior to that, you know, I was just doing just a lot of junk really. But anyway, so the ceramics were new for me there. So really working in at Southside Art Center, and the Short Center is what really got me into ceramics. I don't think I would be doing them
Right.
without those facilities, you know, because you just have to have a lot of stuff.
You have
The
to have,
kiln.
you have to have a lot of room. You have to have
Yeah.
the tools. You have to have places to store it when it's drying. You have,
Yeah.
So before that, were you drawing or were you doing a different type of art then?
Well, yeah, I was, I would have to say, you know, I was always making art. I was interested in it. And then I went to art school, which was a big mistake because it was very expensive and it was in Oakland. And I should have just really, honestly, I should have just stayed at City College and just done it for $10 a unit instead of whatever it was, and been a little bit closer to Sacramento, I think. But I, you know, I had a good time. I met some great people. There were some interesting artists there, but no, I did not do any ceramics there. It was painting. And anyways, when I sort of washed out at CCAC and came back to Sacramento, and indeed did just go to City College, you know, which was fine. I thought, you know, you better start making, keep getting these messages here. But anyways, where was I? I just thought, you know, if you think you're an artist, you better start making some art, Paul. So I started making these paintings and showing them just at cafes, and people seem to like it. And so, you know, it's been pretty steady since then, about 1998.
So you're I kind of wanted to go further back. Like when you were little, did you do something that somebody inspired you to do, or did you find something that was interesting to you that you said, oh my gosh, I want to do art, you know, or I want to draw? Was there anybody in your life when you were younger, as you were growing up, that kind of inspired you
Well, everyone was, you know, nobody was really negative about it because it was, you know, funny, weird little Paul making his drawings, you know. I remember my grandfather being kind of encouraging, and he was a doctor, so his approach was you could become a medical illustrator, and that's a very cool thing to do. He could see me doing that, you know. And in fact, I might go get it in a second. We've been going through a lot of scrapbooks after my dad passed away, and I found a lot of drawings that I made when I was a kid, and one is like a kind of a Grey's Anatomy thing with a skeleton in it.
Yep.
And but it's kind of but in a few minutes, maybe my plan was at some point to just get off this shot, maybe show you like around my studio lived space. And
that's fine. So
hopefully not point the camera at the dirty laundry or anything like that.
So I know when I say, you know, who inspired you, different things inspire different types of art that you do. And that's what I've found in my own life. The different things that I have gone from watercolor. In England, I was, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I understand where you're coming from.
But actually, it just occurred to me, though, that I was always really, really interested in the comic books. I had a comic book collection. And then, like, you know, Marvel, DC, superhero, most boys are, or people, or whatever, you know, they're in the 70s, you know, and I still have a lot of them actually tucked away somewhere, but I couldn't draw like that. I tried and I was no good, but then I discovered, like, you know, like Peanuts, the daily strips, and then like political stuff, and then like the New Yorker magazine, and my drawing kind of, and you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, it's sort of glom, it went more in the direction of something very, very like not superhero, like very loose drawing. So a lot of my favorite artists were like Thurber and Booth, and I'm just trying, well, Charles Schultz, really a lot, you know. I have a great book for, well, I'll get it down later. And really, really inspiring, you know, me. So then when I, you know, started drawing, and then I had this job at a cafe, and downtown in like 1982 or 3, I was still just a kid, and they said, oh, Paul, you can draw your little pictures and we'll put them in the Suttertown News. It'll be the advertisement for the cafe.
Oh, cool.
Do you remember the Suttertown News?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of the funky weekly alternative magazine that the
Yeah.
News and Review sort of
Right.
knocked out of the way, but it was really cool, very, very alternative. And so my drawings were appearing in that, and I thought I was just the coolest guy in the world because I had, you know, people would recognize me. Oh, I'm not recognize me, but they'd come into the cafe and say, "Oh, I love your drawing and the thing," and it would tell me what does it mean, you know, and all this stuff. And so that was kind of like
You were published.
getting your stuff in print is really cool. And then you know, when I was at City College, I went in there and said, "Hey, do you guys need me to draw little spot drawings for you or whatever? Here's some examples." And they said, "Well, why don't you just do a comic strip?" So I did a comic strip for the Express, which was the City College newspaper. And then I was at Sac State, and I was too intimidated to go into their newspaper and say, you know, publish me, because they had a cartoonist already. I thought he was kind of sucky, and I could have done a better job, but hello?
Hi, Stephanie. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but I think somebody just came in.
That's cool. And anyways, so it was fun to see your, you know, people were like supportive, like, "Oh, look, I see your drawings. I think you make cartoons." And so was doing that. And then I had a strip, not really a strip, but a panel in the what was it called? Alive and Kicking, which is like a rock and roll calendar magazine.
Oh,
review
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
And I was in that for about
yeah.
7 years, I think. And that was cool because people kind of recognized, you know, more than once someone said, "Oh, you're the," you know, I'll tell you what, when I was at the Southside Art Center, I had to call some agency about one of the clients, you know how it goes. And I said, "Oh, I'm calling about so-and-so. My name is," you know, my name. And the person on the other end of the phone said, "Oh, you're the cartoonist." I was like, that is so flipping awesome, you know? And
Well known in Sacramento.
so I wrote her name down, and I sent her a little thank you note with a drawing on it, hoping that would make her day or whatever. But
Well, that's nice.
anyway,
You know, people, Paul,
that's
and you know,
only time.
when people like your work,
Yeah,
buy your work, and that's part of everybody. Art is relative. It's different from you to me to, you know, my son to the neighbor next door. They might not like our art, but you know, some people do. So when you first started getting to sell your work, you remember the first time that you sold it, and how
I
much
do.
was it?
There were like sort of two first times. The first I sold a drawing to a friend of my sister's because it was she was an insurance agent, and I had this drawing that I'd made that was vaguely related to insurance. The guy said the word I forget the drawing really. And she goes, "Oh, I love that. I want to buy that." I'm like, "Give me $20." And she did. And it was like so psyched, you know. And that was like 1982. So I was like, "Oh man, I'm rolling in it now." But
That was your first sell?
and then like much later, maybe it was like 1990, my first little show that I did at a cafe, this woman said, "I'd like to buy that painting." And I was just so weirded out, like, "Well, you really? You want to actually pay the money that I'm asking for the thing and take it into your house and hang it in your home?" And she said, "Yeah." I mean, I didn't say that to her, but it was,
Yeah.
you know, and then pretty much steadily, if I have a show, at least a couple sell all the time to people I don't know. They're around town, you know.
They're your followers.
Yeah, I got one or two of those people that have bought like in excess of 20.
Yeah, well, you know, when you like something, you like it. So when you do art, do you do it daily? Do you like, I mean, not even thinking about it, I'm sure you doodle, obviously.
You know what? I really don't doodle too much, I don't think, but I ought to because it would give me more ideas. But you know, it's been weird in this COVID lockdown thing or whatever we're calling it. You know, I've been trying to work on stuff at night, like after I get, for the months and months, you know, it was after I get dad put to bed or mom put to, you know, just get everything done. And then you know, and then I go into my little room and just lock the door, watch a movie, sip on a beer and work on these paintings, which are kind of on this cardboard, just endless. And it goes like that.
So those are,
I have about
You can slow
easily like
down.
100 or more on this cardboard, and then
So
you
was
know
that
more, huh?
was that done, like you said, that was your COVID period? Your
I
COVID
would like
period?
to.
Yeah.
I definitely, when these things open up, and it like, I'd like to have a COVID show and just say this is what Paul did in the COVID, and
Yeah,
just see if I
yeah.
can sell them all, and you know,
Well,
whatever.
that was something I was going to ask you, but you obviously just, you gave me that information just now. All those 100 whatever on those cards was your COVID period, and I think that's really, as we do when we do work, I think art especially, it morphs into something else, and it reflects what's going on in the world right now. I think
Yeah, I hope so. I don't think any of it visually has anything to do with the COVID, but I wrote on the back the dates that I made it, so it'll be clear that, oh, this was made during that time. And also I would give it the titles like, oh, I don't know, the COVID, right, COVID or COVID-19 or coronavirus or something like that. Just to, remind myself in years to, oh, I made that during that weird period. And also I made a few on, more formal things on canvas, which I can show you here in a second.
Okay. I just wanted to tell you that Stephanie Goodwin is in the room. She's just, she doesn't put her camera on, but you can say hi, Stephanie. And then if you have
Hi,
any
Stephanie.
questions.
Anyway, so I bought, canvases at the University Art, and I have, these ones are not done. Obviously, this one is not done, but it's
Oh, I like that.
Um,
I like landscape though. I mean,
yeah. Somehow it popped up this sort of woman with this Dutch collar thing, and so I'm making a lot of these. So this is like, got the TV, the vase, the flower, the Dutch lady with these ones are done.
I love her hair.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
wow.
where this goes, checkers get started, and then
It reminds me of the stained glass
yeah,
church.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like religious art a lot, medieval, Renaissance, all that. And I can't approach that technically, but I can hint at it, so a lot of my stuff is, you've seen it, the little windows and all that stuff, and
Yeah, very.
it gives a lot of weight. I think, if you stick some religious symbolism into a picture, it's a very easy way to make it really, really serious,
Yeah, yeah,
all of a sudden.
yeah.
And
So, do you have you ever had a break in your life where you didn't do any art?
yeah, I can tell you right away. Yeah, it was.
You don't have to go into
The details, but there was about 2 years there where I wasn't really doing anything, and art was one of the things I wasn't doing, and it involved just, I'd rather not say, but
No, that's fine.
not making art.
Yeah, yeah. We all have parts of our life that
Yeah,
kind of voids.
and I looked at like my art that I'd done before. I said, Paul, you're not doing anything. That's lame. You're supposed to be this guy that does that. So it's one of the reasons that helped me sort of move out of that period of my life, and
yeah,
then getting a job at Southside, and then also you asked about every day. When we go to the short center, it's every day. You clock in. I love that. I get to put on a vest and clock in and sit down and say, what are we going to do now? We're going to if I'm, I'm making the art, or I'm helping, somebody, Stephanie, make the art or whatever. It's so rewarding,
yeah.
especially when there's a real result and it's like, does something.
I agree. That's something that I haven't been able to do ever. I didn't think I would ever teach, but, especially art. So is there something you want to accomplish with this art that you're doing? Or
Me?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, guys, just when, you know, when one of the pictures or something that I helped somebody make at the Short Center or previously at the Southside Arts Center would like win an award or get sold, or an important person maybe bought it or something like that. Really, everyone's important, but you know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was at my cafe show and I had this Southside art students up there in this one picture, and who was the guy that ran against Schwarzenegger? Angelitos? Phil
Oh, I
Phil
wasn't here.
Angelides?
Yeah, I wasn't here then. I was in England.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, he was a big mucky muck, still is, and he ran unsuccessfully against Schwarzenegger, I guess.
Right.
And anyways, they live in not too far from where my cafe was at the time, and this woman said, "Oh, I would like to buy that painting." And I said, "Oh, that great, you know." She said, "Will you take a check?" I'm like, "Sure." And she handed me the check, and I said, "Oh, this is Angelides," and he's like has more money than everybody.
Wow.
They're very, very wealthy, and I just thought, oh, this is so awesome. My girl's picture, I mean, my student,
Right. Yeah.
you know, is going to go hang in this beautiful house. Presumably, you know, she seemed to really like it. It was a really neat piece, I can tell you that much. And
That's really cool.
so that's just an example. But anytime somebody buys one of the pieces that I had something to do with, or even not have, you know, just to see our guys getting attention like that, because some of the artwork is just so good, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. So
It's a different, I don't know, it's a niche, but it's real, you know.
there's a
And it's
lot
fun
of
to be a
people.
part of it.
There's a lot of people that love the Short Center's art. You know.
Yeah, well, we got to get them there more often, and and more of them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
oh yeah, it was like last week when I was at the Short Center and the gal came by and bought, you know, almost $200 worth of stuff, and I don't remember now whose it was. I remember there was a Cheryl Gentry piece we got rid of. And,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I wonder.
and,
Yeah, I wonder how that works. I guess.
oh, I'm sure we can find her address and send her the money.
Sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would encourage that, because she
Oh.
deserves. I was always telling her, your work's so good, I'm going to sell it, and then
Right.
you know, it happened. So
She.
and everybody else's work is very good too, but there was one or two that Cheryl made that I was really fond of, and then so yeah, that's the day-to-day thing that's really, really rewarding, and to accomplish, like, man, if a museum bought a picture that was made in, you know, either Short Center or something that I had, you know, just really got some attention, or yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I think, you know, we haven't even touched on the KVIE auction, and I have to appreciate, you know, the fact that you get in there and do it. I would be nervous, and I would never be able to do that. So kudos to you.
Oh, that's too bad, because I picked you to do it this year.
No.
That's a lot of fun, you know. It's like broadcasting, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You can make art, but can you stand around on live TV and talk about it? And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and you can do that, and I'm glad that you're doing it and you like it.
yeah, it's fun. Well, you get a sandwich when it's all over.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna stop you now, and you can show them what you want.
Okay.
That way you can have some time.
Okay. So the camera will be like shaking around a lot, because I was gonna thought I'd just walk around. Is that cool?
Yeah, just take your time. Don't rush. It's fine.
Let's see if it's got the feature where I can.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Right. So
that's your desk.
it's sort of my work area. I work on the ground. So like paints and scissors and
Pencils.
what's that? Clear finish. There's that. Let me see. This one came out pretty good. Whoops.
Whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah, there's see that Dutch collar.
Yeah,
There's some
yeah.
glare going on there, but so this is cardboard, as you can see. I gave her the name Zoe.
I might have to buy that, Paul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really like that. I
Cool.
like,
There's some stuff that you know, ink jars and stuff from the short center.
yeah, I love those.
Camera. It's just sort of like, oh, this is a painting that someone traded me that for one of my, I forget, a camera or a painting.
Yeah,
Sherry Hacker. Oh,
I really like that.
Yeah, Sherry Hacker.
Wow.
And yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Well, by that. And there's my bad habit. Here's some few more pieces that I made. Those are on wood. Let's see. I started one last night. Let me see if it's this one's quite big, as you can see. Scale, it's much larger than the other ones. But
That's cool. It's almost like there's a crack in the window.
these. Here you can really see the let me turn this fan off. Here you can really see, like, I'll just flip through. It just goes on and on.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, another Dutch collar thing there. That one came out good.
That's
Just
really
sort of weird.
That's cool.
But yeah, it just kind of goes on and on and on.
Wow.
Sort of, I like her little foot's coming out here,
Oh, yeah.
walking forward, and then, and you know, just, you know, play with colors and stuff like that. Let me see. Then I have like another box with even more of these things in there, because it just it was kind of a fun one. There's that. Let me see. Then every now and then, you know, somewhat larger ones will pop up.
And you know, these things that you put and you paint on are just cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really unique. You know, I mean, people don't even think about using their recycled cardboard for anything but packing boxes from Amazon. I don't know.
Well,
Thank you, Paul.
okay, we'll take a break for that.
Yeah,
So we can look at some more stuff in a bit, but the cardboard boxes, I don't know, again, I don't know if this is important or, but for the that like 10-month period or more where Dad was,
Hey, Paul.
hey, how are you? Where Dad was, you know, just bedridden, and we're looking after him. A lot of boxes were showing up with materials that we needed, various materials. I won't go into details, but there was, so I just thought, well, I'll chop up these boxes and paint on them, and that'll be like my thing or whatever.
Ode
So,
to Pops.
huh?
No, Ode to Pops.
Something like that. It's all part of the, so it's like, it's got the COVID, and it's got Dad, and it's got, and another thing is cardboard, it's not very intimidating as a material, you know, so you can be really experimental. If I'm using a canvas, I tend to get really, you know, hesitant about stuff.
Yeah, overly cautious almost, right?
Yeah, overly cautious, and you really got to get away from that, because it's just canvas. You can paint over it. They're not that much. If you get a deal, go to the university when they have sales. You can get, these were like, I think I bought 7 of them for like $12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget. It was a really good deal. And then that big one that we just saw was maybe $30 on that, and but you got to spend money on materials every now and then, you know.
Sure.
So, do it. But with cardboard, you tend to be.
Yeah.
Just the cardboard, it kind of frees me up a little bit. Not that I need a lot of freeing up, but it's
yeah.
You know, in the middle of the night, it's a piece of cardboard. I just go really crazy, and the results are, you know, they can be interesting, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So thank you for sitting with us and talking about your art. And I have one more question, then I'll give it up to the guys. They can ask questions.
Okay.
So what would you like to learn that you don't know how to do right now? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be related to art. What would you like to learn? You know, we still have a lot of time right now. I think people are learning different things. What would you like to learn that you could take for a class, or something that has been maybe learning how to skydive, or I don't know.
Yeah. Let me think about that. You know, what I should do is brush up on the stuff I already know. I mean, you know, I could probably type better, but
But it's just something to think about. You know,
yeah.
I always ask it, somebody, the artist.
No, I'll tell you one thing, and I don't know why I don't do it. It could be the cost thing, but it's to like have some of my, to like cast metal, you know, make like instead of ceramic cameras, you know, make one and then have it like cast in bronze or something, you know.
Oh, that would be really cool.
And just go, you know, get wax or whatever. Apparently it's not that expensive, and there's foundries around town where you just buy the stuff, give it to them, give them the money, and then they know how to like cast it for you.
Well, there you go. Your class.
And it would be fun to see, you know, whatever it is that I do in a really, really permanent thing, like, you know, bronze or metal.
Heavy metal, definitely. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask them to unmute. You
One
guys
of these days we'll do that.
Yeah. You can unmute now. Anybody want to ask a question? And you want to ask a question? Ask the artist.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Is that Liz?
Yeah, that's me.
The picture is so tiny. Okay, we got Leanne, Stephanie, Liz, Cindy, Annie, Virginia, and me. Oh, it's all ladies. No guys wanted to be in this, huh?
Uh-oh, Paul, your camera just went off. Oh, there you go.
No, I was looking at the
okay.
my finger. I was doing something.
The list.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, nobody has any questions?
Well, I do.
You have a question, Liz?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your questions, ma'am?
My question was with Paul.
Okay.
I know Paul for years, but I like his painting, and it was very beautiful. I think he should get a full-time job for it.
I could use it.
I like that, yeah. Get a full-time job doing art.
It's true. Liz Areola was at the Southside Art Center the whole time that I was there, the whole 10 years. And then when I had a hiatus, then returned, you know, in the field at Short Center, boom, there was Liz, and Gina showed up shortly afterwards, and so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I remember Gina.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That job, that was, you know.
Antonia was there when Liz was there.
Antonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember, we called her Tony. Remember Tony?
I think so, yeah.
She was on my Ask Artist a few months ago, and Liz was there, and she said, I remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't in one place, and I wanted to change that. I knew the only way to get a skincare system that brought everything I love together was to do it myself.
Someone's got the radio on.
I don't have a
to deliver ageless looking skin. Our amazing team formulators
learn anything. How about that question?
even took my mother's secret,
I have a
base
question.
olive oil, and created our olive complex.
I know Paul, and talk about my trips, and always call me my name,
Well, I'm so glad.
and I want to take painting with Paul.
Oh yeah, when we get back started in a few months, that'd be awesome, Cindy.
Yeah.
Cool.
He always called me Foo-Foo.
What do I do?
Call me Foo-Foo.
I call you Foo-Foo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't remember calling you that, but okay. Maybe I would
Last time.
what was your name? Cindy Foya.
Yes.
It's just a funny sounding name, Foya.
Is that
Yeah.
Annie?
And
Oh, sorry. Oh, Annie wants to
that's
show you. Can Annie show you some of her art there?
Of course. No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, if you guys have any art you want to show, I love that. Wow, it looks like lids up there. Little, those are some gigantic flowers, man, I tell you.
I can't see anything. Can you?
Can't?
No, all I see is you and me, a tiny little stamp of me. I can't seem to get the whatever, the array of.
Oh.
But I saw Cindy a second ago.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Let me see. Let me try this. If I go participants, who wanted to show me stuff?
Annie?
Annie?
oh,
No, it didn't work.
Well, are you on a tablet or a?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how to work that on.
And all I get is whoever's talking.
hey Paul.
Yeah. See, I can see Cindy now.
So,
That's cool.
hey, Annie, why don't you talk for a minute? That way it'll go to you. Talk for a second.
I'll do that.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Okay, let's see him again there, Annie. Hold it up so I can see it. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Hey, Robin, you just joined a minute before we leave.
Actually, can I just one real quick with Annie Rosa? She made a really long one that was in D1. It was like little houses in a street, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I picked that one for the auction this year. I think it'll look really, really good.
Hey Paul.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oh, that's darling.
That's great.
Self-portrait.
A clown.
Oh, that's great.
That's nice.
I like that, Cindy. That's really pretty. Hi, Paul. I'm late.
Okay, so we only have like 30 seconds. So if you guys want to say hi and bye.
Hi, bye.
Portrait.
Thank
Hey.
you.
Thanks, Virginia, and thanks everybody watching. It was a lot of fun.
Hey Paul.
I feel like I'm back at work. That's great, man. That's a self-portrait, right?
Wow.
That's fine.
Wow, that's really nice.
Which is
That's
Daughter.
great.
President of the National Law Enforcement Agencies that want to talk.